Hello guys, welcome to the channel, and we're going to do a slightly different review today because this is the head sculpt dilemma and we'll talk about that today. But before we do, just giving you a close-up on the figures, and I'm liking the way them two look together. Just got them in what I call my standard poster pose, but we'll go to the top there, and that film, because I've got all the Wolverine films, but anyway, that film had a lukewarm reception, but I loved it, and it shows him at the beginnings of his mutant powers, and him and his brother in the opening sequence of that film, the credits, you see them fighting in sort of the American Civil War, then in the First World War, and in the Second World War. And it's the look of the figure on the left, Logan the Wolverine, that we'll be concentrating on, mainly because of its head sculpt. But it's not a negative, it's just an opinion of mine. It's kind of been niggling at, well, it's not been niggling, but it's been kind of something I'm going to have to think about. Not too deeply though, it's just a light-hearted thing. And you'll see at the end of the review. So it says there, long before Wolverine joined the X-Men, Logan served in World War II, teaming up with allies Captain America, Bucky, and Nick Fury in the battle against the Axis powers. Well, that's a new one to me. Maybe that's in the comics now, but I was watching that film that I've just shown you, and that's the image that you do see Hugh Jackman in, and I love it. And these are my comic book versions of the Wolverine and Logan, and I do like the movie ones, but I'm a comic book man. And this is the dilemma. So when this figure came in, I liked his head sculpt, and looking around the lips and the eyes and everything, I thought you'll see that same head sculpt with the accessory you get there, but it's nothing like him. And it's not bad, I've tried it on the figure, but it's not what I expected. What I expected, seeing that face and having that head sculpt, which is to me perfect. His hair's flattened down by the helmet. You know, he's got the facial expression around the mouth and teeth and all that. But down there, he takes off the helmet and it's kind of a bit, well, it's a bit buffed up. And his lips are closed. And I think it suits it better if you put that head sculpt there on that figure there. So we're going to have a look at that, and we're going to show you something else and see what that looks like. So this is what I think the figure should be like. So let's come to this side first. Now, that head sculpt there, as I said before, round the mouth, it doesn't look like the helmeted head sculpt. What it looks like, he's got a straight, serious mouth, and I do like him. And it does look good on the Logan figure. But I like this alternative, because when you come down here, you'll find that's more believably him. His mouth is straightened, he's got thin lips, he's not growling. And I'll pull it back a bit because it's a bit glary. But that's more believable of him in that mask, looking like that. And overall, I do like the look of it. It just fits right. The proportions, to me, I think are okay. I've never seen him like this, but I do like him. So when you come over to this one, I think that looks awesome. He was growling in the helmet, and he's now still growling without the helmet. And when you go down there, you can see that. the likeness is the same. So I don't understand why they didn't do that in the first place. But I did put the other head sculpt on that one, on him, and it did look good. But I just think this is more what it should be. So that's that. That was my opinion. I just want to come in close again because I do like the way they look. Very happy with that. Could quite easily pose them on my display, and they're going to be next to each other anyway in the kitchen. You'll see that in the final part of this review. But I'm going to pause it one more time and show you one more surprise, and then we'll go into the kitchen area and show you where they're going to be posed. So what about this then? Let's come straight to him. And I actually never thought I'd like this as much, but I think that works. Because if you think about it, you see things like Spider-Man where he's actually got his spider suit on, but then he's got a hoodie, some pants, short, and well, he's got jeans and sneakers. And then you think about Captain America in the Second World War where, yes, he's got his uniform, but then he's got his Second World War weapons, like his sidearm. So you can imagine Wolverine, where there's only a few people at the top that know who he really is, what gifts he has, needing him to go behind enemy lines, so he can't let his own men know who he really is. Only a few men at the top, and then he puts on the mask and goes behind enemy lines. And that's a good look. And that's a figure I could buy. If, say, you was a Hot Toys collector, imagine that. Hot Toys with the kind of mask element to it. So I won't knock it, like it a lot. And then of course, it makes more sense to really have that head sculpt with that head sculpt instead of that one there. But that's what I like about this figure. You know, it's a different look, but it's still Logan. And it just looks really good. Proportionately, it looks really good. And I do like that. And I like that dynamic of them two. So, that's my opinion. You know, I could easily pose him like that, and you wouldn't have to worry about him not having that head sculpt because he still looks good like that. I could easily have him looking like that on the right without the helmet, or if I want the helmet, have him looking like that. It all works. And so I've never done this much on head sculpts in a review, but at the end of the day, that's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to have those two only on that figure, and I'm only going to use that head sculpt with this figure, and I'm going to keep this head in because that's how I'm going to display them when I change them out from time to time. So we're going to go in the kitchen area. I'm going to show you where they're going to be displayed, and I reviewed Iron Man the other day, so I'm going to show you where I put him, so stay tuned. Hi guys, we're in the kitchen area then. I just come back a little bit. There's been a lot of changes again with this section, but I'll take you to this side first. All of the figures you've seen now have all been posed out. So there's Vision and Red Skull over the top, the guy with the two pistols, Eddie the Hood, a Rebirth Superman at the back, a variant of Spider-Man there, Rhino. At the back you got Thor, and that figure apparently has become a herald of Galactus and has been given additional powers, which is why his hammer's blue. Let's come in close. And there's Maggot from the X-Men world. And there's your Blade, your Domino from Deadpool 2, and Deadpool himself with that amazing head sculpt. Love that. My Iron Man, love that Iron Man. And Hulkbuster behind. Mr. Hulkbuster. And there's Venom. And then we got Doc Ock, who I posed out recently, and you would have seen that. And there's Iron Man. And I reviewed him, I loved him, liked some of the review of the way I posed him, but the flight stand element at the back, at the end of the footage wasn't good. And now I've got him in the mode I like to see him in, hover mode. And you get to see the effects on the figure. Love it. Absolutely love it. So I'm going to do a whole thing on him on the flight stand, show you the different poses. Now I've got the hang of it. And there's Tom Holland, as I said, next to him. That trio is Katana from Suicide Squad 2, Mystique or Raven, whatever we want to call her, Futuristic Cyclops, Madam Hydra, Red Skull, Ghost Rider, Sabretooth over the back there with female Silver Surfer. Let's see if we can get a better shot of her. No, not easy. That's your best shot of Silver Surfer. Another Batman. I think I've mentioned Venom. So yeah. And then I'm going to have Wolverine in that space there with Logan Wolverine. So overall, that's about the end of the review, because it was mainly about that head sculpt dilemma, and I think I've shown you what I'm going to go with. I'll come up with some close-ups before we go. Let's leave you on Iron Man. Let's center that. So yeah, I'm going to go with what you saw earlier with the Logan figure. Love it a lot. And I think either Sunday or sometime in the week, I'm going to take out the weapons. I'm going to keep the other Wolverine with him and basically show you some dynamic poses and things that come out of my head. So I say thanks for watching the channel, and I'll see you again. I'm trying to get a nice little shot of something, but I'll stick with Iron Man because that's part of the reason I'm in here. So yeah, on that note, I'll say thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.